They said she found the doll in the attic. No one remembered owning it, but little Clara swore it smiled the moment she picked it up. In the dusty quiet of that old house, where memories lingered like cobwebs, a new story was beginning. A story that would be whispered in hushed tones for years to come. Clara's mother, trying to dismiss the unease that pricked at her, dusted off the porcelain figure. The doll's eyes were blank glass, its painted lips a perfectly straight, expressionless line. It was old, its porcelain face delicately cracked with age, reflecting the flickering candlelight like a fractured soul. "It's just an old thing, darling," she said, her laugh a little too forced. "But if you love it, you can keep it." Clara named her Annabelle. The doll's lips were a perfect, unmoving red line, no smile, no frown. Just waiting. That first night, as the old house settled into a deep silence, punctuated by the ticking clock and the soft sigh of rain against the window pane, something shifted. Clara slept soundly in her bed, cocooned in childhood innocence. But in the pale sliver of moonlight that cut across the room, the doll's head turned, ever so slightly, toward the sleeping girl. By morning, a subtle change had taken place. Clarice's mother noticed it while tidying the room. The doll's mouth was different. It was curved, just barely, a faint, almost imperceptible upward tilt at the corners. "Clara," she asked, her voice tight with an unnamed anxiety. "Did you paint this?" Clara looked up from her breakfast, her eyes wide and honest. "No, Mama." She smiled because she's happy now. And from that day on, the smile grew. Each morning, it was a fraction wider, a little more pronounced. The painted-on happiness seemed to be stretching the very porcelain itself, a silent, chilling transformation happening right before their eyes. The mother's unease blossomed into a cold, creeping fear. Clutching a hastily drawn sketch of the doll, she sought out the local toy maker, an old man whose workshop smelled of sawdust and forgotten years. His hands trembled as he looked at her drawing, the color draining from his face. Remember it." "I'm there," he whispered, his voice raspy with age and a sudden, terrible memory. "For a little girl who passed away. Her mother asked me to make a doll that would always remember her daughter's smile." He explained that he'd tried, but he could never finish it. Something was wrong with the doll. He said it felt like it didn't want to stop smiling, that the painted expression kept widening on its own, as if fueled by some insatiable joy. He'd hidden it away, terrified of what he had created. Back home, the wind howled through the cracks in the old farmhouse, carrying a sound that was almost like a hummed lullaby. The mother's heart pounded in her chest as she heard Clara's laughter echoing from her room, a bright, cheerful sound that suddenly felt menacing. Steeling herself, she pushed the door open and gasped. A grotesque tableau greeted her. All of Clara's other toys, the teddy bear, the wooden soldier, the stuffed rabbit were lined up in a neat row, and on each of their faces, a crude, garish red smile had been painted, mocking their once innocent expressions. In the center of this disturbing assembly sat Annabelle. Her porcelain grin was stretched impossibly wide now, a horrifying crescent that seemed almost human. "Clara," the mother whispered, her voice trembling. "Where did you get the paint?" Clara turned, her face beaming with pure, unadulterated happiness. "Annabelle taught me, Mama," she chirped. "She said everyone should smile. Just like her." The storm that broke that night was violent, a furious tantrum of thunder and lightning that rattled the very bones of the house. The mother was jolted awake, not by the storm, but by a sound that cut through it, the sound of laughter, high and clear, mixed with the of key. Tinkling of a music box. She scrambled out of bed and ran to Clara's room, her blood running cold. The room was empty. The window was shattered, letting the wind and rain whip through the dark space. Clara's bed was empty. The only thing left was the doll, sitting perfectly upright on the pillow, its smile wider than ever before. The red paint on its lips looked dark and disturbingly wet. They found the doll alone in the morning, serenely smiling amidst the disarray. Clara was never seen again. Decades passed. The house fell into ruin, But the doll endured. It now rests behind the polished glass of an antique stored display case, a relic from a forgotten time. The shopkeeper, oblivious to its history, carefully dusts its porcelain face, admiring its unique, permanently cheerful expression. But sometimes, when no one is looking, in the quiet moments between customers, something happens. For a fleeting moment, the doll's painted grin seems to twitch, to widen just a fraction more. They say that some toys are made to remember their owners, others are made to replace them.